So real estate is essentially one of the subclasses of alternative investments. And so what alternative investments is essentially an investment into any asset class other than cash, bonds and equity, because cash, bonds and equity are known as the traditional asset classes. It's a very popular asset class, especially in the UK, and it's incredibly unpopular among female investors. It gives a sort of safety net to some extent. It's an investment that's very tangible, you know, because you can essentially touch it, right? You can see the brick and mortar, so it feels a bit more real as opposed to investing in things like equities and bonds where everything happens on the screen and you don't necessarily have anything tangible to show for it. And real estate is an excellent way to diversify your assets. It gives you a very different exposure to other asset classes because it's not as volatile in terms of price movement. You know, to actually gain any value from it, you have to hold it for an extended period of time, because price increases and drops are not as instant as with equities. It can take you months and even sometimes years to get to a price movement. This also makes it a very long-term investment and a very liquid investment, you know, which means when you decide to sell, it's not an instant thing, right? It doesn't happen immediately. It's a very lengthy process because you need to find who's going to buy it, you need to put it on the market, you need to price it, you know, to find who's going to represent you, and all of these things take time. Therefore, it's not something that you want to hold all of your money in, because if you suddenly need access to money, well, it's not going to happen straight away. On top of that, you don't want to be what's known as a distressed seller, which is when you're so desperate to sell that you end up settling for a much lesser price than you could do if you weren't distressed and you could spend the time.